Oh, it is working. Okay, I feel honored that YouTube is actually working tonight. Go me. Go me. Now I have to. All right. So it looks like technology is on our side and we are live on all platforms. That is, and all my notifications are coming through letting me know that we are live, even though they're supposed to be off, and now they're off. So, welcome everyone to another night of sex, love, and marriage where we have open discussions of all things sex, love, and marriage. I am your favorite life coach and certified clinical sexologist, Coach K, bringing you your topic. So while we wait just a couple seconds, literally seconds, to get all of the notifications out, because I like to make sure that we all know that we are on and live. I also like to make sure that I share this to, oh, look at 4 minutes later, join me. Thank you guys for joining me here on Instagram, which, by the way, if you are joining me on any of the platforms, that Clubhouse, YouTube, or Instagram, I will tell you that the best platform to join me on is always going to be Instagram. Eventually, I will move everything to YouTube, though. So you may want to make sure that you are following me on YouTube. You can find me on all platforms by searching Coach K101. Hey, Ken, thank you for joining me here on Instagram. And I don't want to say the name wrong of all of that, those have joined me. So tonight I'm really excited about this topic, and I know I say that about all of them, but I really am excited about this topic because it's a great topic. Honestly, it's what are you using sex for? That is a legit question. It's a valid question, and it's something that honestly we don't always think about. We don't always think about it because we have come so far as a society, and I am here in America, in Virginia, and we've come so far that we don't have to really think about why we're using a sex or how we're using sex or what is the purpose of sex. It seems like a lot of times sex is almost like a mindless act at this point, as if we just kind of go into it, we get her done, and then we're done, which makes me think, especially when I think about some clients that I speak to, some clients that I speak to oftentimes feel unfulfilled. They could be in relationships, they can be in meaningful relationships, for all I know. Some of them are, some of them are not, and still sexually feel unfulfilled. And sometimes not even just sexually, just in general, unfulfilled. So before I dive too far deep into this discussion, I am going to make sure that I say this again, who I am, just in case this is your first time meeting me. And I do encourage you to make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel where all of these videos live forever and ever, that you are following my Instagram account here, and that you are, if you are on Clubhouse, you're following me on Clubhouse. You can find me on all of those platforms, and honestly, every single social media platform, if you just search Coach K 101, and that's COACHKAY 101. K is all the way out. I am your favorite life coach and certified clinical sexologist, Coach K. I work with women and I work with couples on developing and growing communication, which builds intimacy, which leads to sexual satisfaction, whether it be with yourself or with your partner or with others. Totally up to you. So let's dive deep into this thing. If you saw my graphic for this promo, you saw that I had kind of four things listed out with the question, what are you using sex for? So we have procreation is one of them, we have control, we have bonding, and we have pleasure. Thousands and countless of other reasons why we have sex, but those are just the ones that I put up. So let's start with the first one, procreation. Drink specialty of Fort Fancy Flavors. Thank you. So for many, 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 many years. And I'm going to speak really specifically towards women a lot in this particular one, mostly because I am a woman and mostly because this really does relate to women. Men are included, of course, because without men, women, we're really not procreating with ourselves, right? So when I think back in history, the main purpose of a woman's body was to produce offsprings, children. Women, we were not in any type of control over our bodies. And honestly, once we got married, we were almost the property of our husbands. We belonged to him. And so when it came to sex, sex was not about pleasuring us as the wife or the woman, more so, one, creating offsprings, and two, pleasuring our male counterpart. And so when we think of modern day, we slowly kind of gained our rights back over our own bodies, even though another topic, another day, there are some things that we still don't have control of our bodies. The government does, but I digress. As we begin to get certain rights back, we realize that, hey, we want pleasure too. We want to be able to have sex for more than just producing children for our male counterparts. And to be honest, it was such a thing and looked at so highly that you were able to produce children that those who were not able to produce children felt shameful, felt worthless, felt like, well, they just had nothing in life to offer. And thus, self esteem, self worth just diminished. And so we had to realize that we are more than just baby producers. We are more than just pleasure givers. We are human beings who deserve pleasure as well and deserve to have sex on purpose without the production of a child. And so if that is your purpose for sex is to have a child, then I think that that should be spoken clearly and upfront. Now, I will say this. When you do go into your sexual encounter with a purpose, you're more likely to produce that result that you were looking for. There is, however, sometimes a huge imbalance that can not give you that result. Sometimes that comes from, hey, thank you for joining me here on Instagram. Nice of you to be on here. Sometimes that imbalance can come from concentrating too heavily on the end goal versus the purpose. And what does that mean? And staying with this first example of procreation, there are many men and women who, and there are many couples, I won't say men and women, there are many couples who want to, have children. And for whatever reason, it's just not happening, or it's not happening fast enough. We hear so many stories of women who come forward or families who come forward who are not able to have children. They go to doctor after doctor after doctor. They've tried the infertility specialists. They tried treatments. They try all of these things. And still, sometimes the production is not favorable. And then you hear about them saying, and I have my miracle child. They stopped doing all the extra, fertility treatments. They kind of just said, you know what? It's not going to happen. We're never going to have children. And then poof, they end up pregnant. And I really think about this. And if you really go down a deep rabbit hole, which I'm not going to go with you guys, in those instances, more likely than not, they were so focused on the end result that they were not enjoying the purpose. Going into sex for the purpose of producing a child is way different than going into sex for the end result of a child. The mindset is different, the stress level is different, and it's all in how you view it, honestly. When you want something so bad and you think about it, a runner in a race, when they're at the starting mark, I don't know technical names, so forgive me. They're at this starting block, right? And they're like, I'm going to be the first one across that finish line. I'm going to be first. In their mind, I'm going to be first. Now, the purpose of the race is for them to win the race. But the end result that they want is to be first. So they left the purpose alone. They're not looking to win the race. They're just looking to be first. So they're negating everything else to be first. So they're sitting at the starting block. On your mark, they're down. Set, butt up. Go. And they shoot off to be first and they fall. Because there's no purpose in that run. And so you're not even balanced. You're not concentrating on there's a race. I have to do these things to get to this race. I have to make sure that I'm running with purpose, that I'm in this race on purpose, and that I want to win on purpose and with a purpose versus I'm just going to be number one. And so having a purpose for sex is super important. So we go to the next one of, let's see, I did the procreation power. Are you having sex? Are you using sex for power? This has a million roads that we can go down when it comes to power. But one of them that I think of is in the BDSM realm. And let me tell you that the BDSM realm is huge. It is not all chains and whips. It is not all taking your heel and stepping on people. It is not all just, it's not leather and lace. BDSM realm is huge. And so the control factor of sex, if that's what you're using it for, there are some people that want to be powerless to their partner. And then there are others that want to be powerful with whomever their partner. They want to dominate their partner. And if that is the purpose, an important piece of that is finding someone who is aligned with your purpose. So if your purpose is to be powerful and you're aligned with someone who is also of power, that's not going to work. You're going to clash. That's how you can be in a full relationship, full-blown relationship, and be unfulfilled sexually because your purpose, A, probably wasn't communicated appropriately, and B, it's not aligning with your partner. If your purpose for sex is of power, speak that. And understand what the power is that you're trying to possess in your sexual encounters. Because power is not about, I'm going to tell you what to do all the time. I'm going to always be in control. Power, control, different things. Not going down that rabbit hole with you, but you get it. Power, when you're going into a sexual encounter, could be all about you. I am going to have power over my body to ensure that maybe I don't come within a certain amount of time. Maybe my power is to ensure that my partner fully enjoys themselves. Maybe my power is We have sex on certain times of the day. Whatever that power is that you seek in your sexual encounter, make sure it's communicated with your partner, and make sure that you are actively doing it on purpose. So we have procreation, we have power. Let's talk about bonding. This is huge when it comes to an unfulfilled sexual relationship with your partner, because everyone does not look for bonding when it comes to sexual encounters. You could be in a 5-year relationship and you truly love the bonding aspect of sex, but your partner truly just enjoys coming. They just want the pleasure part of it. That's it. That is 5 years of frustration, sexual frustration, because while you're trying to create this bond with your partner, because that's the purpose of sex for you, is to create a bond, and you're doing things that builds bonds. You're making sure that you're active in your foreplay. You're making sure that you do things like sending a nice cute text during the day to kind of get foreplay, because foreplay doesn't start 5 minutes before the intercourse. Foreplay begins when you first get up in the morning. That's when foreplay should begin. But if your partner is in sexual encounters for strictly pleasure, they're not going to receive your bonding purpose of sex. And there's going to be strife this entire time. Someone's going to be sexually frustrated. And then other things in the relationship may happen to create its demise. And so the last one is pleasure. And we just talked a little bit about pleasure. If your sole purpose for sex is pleasure, then you want to make sure that you understand what pleasure is to you. Because if you're going in there saying, oh my gosh, I hope that my partner enjoys this, I hope that they really like this, then you're not going to fulfill yourself in your pleasure purpose. Your purpose for sex matters in having a fulfilled sexual encounter and sex life. Whether it's you're single and you're out populating the world, well, not populating the world, but just having fun out in the world. If you want to ensure that you're single, ready to mingle, and that you're having the best sex of your life, you have to make sure that you understand the purpose of sex. Because you can have sex every single day for 365 days of the year. Wow, that's a lot. And still be sexually unfulfilled because you did not have a purpose for your sexual encounter. Can you imagine that? Someone having sex every freaking day and still being sexually unfulfilled. And you sit back and like, I don't get it. I don't understand. I had this, I just orgasmed, I came, I squirted, whatever it is. And I'm sexually frustrated. And so you get a lot of people who say, well, I'm gonna go through celibacy. I'm not gonna have sex for a while. I'm gonna try to find me. And then they become even more frustrated because they enjoy sex. And so now you have this frustration of, I'm celibate because I'm trying to find me. So I'm not going to have sex. And because when I was having sex, I was just completely unfulfilled. Well, in that celibacy, and I will say this, there's nothing wrong with celibacy whatsoever. I will say that if you don't use it, you lose it. So be very on purpose with that too. Catch that theme. Everything on purpose. Celibacy, just because you heard someone else do it and they found themselves and you think, oh my gosh, I need to find myself, so I'm gonna be celibate. It doesn't always work like that. The first thing you need to do is working on finding your purpose. If you enjoy sex, awesome. What is your purpose in each encounter? And guess what? If you have 10 different women or 10 different men that you are having sexual encounters with, or it could be literally 365 different people. That's totally up to you. I don't judge anybody. That's not my job. Have a purpose for them so that you're more than likely to have a sexually fulfilled sex life. I know I have complete purpose with every encounter that I have with my husband, and thus it's enjoyable every single time. Someone who's single, who does not have a wife or husband, should be able to have that same fulfillment. Just because you sleep with different people on a routine basis does not mean that you have to be unfulfilled and empty and feel worthless. Everything that has purpose can have substance, substance. So you have to find your purpose. You have to understand why. If you're having sex only to have children, make that be known. I'm not looking to give you pleasure. I'm not looking to do this, that, or the third. I'm just here to have a kid. I really think about a woman who may desperately want to have a child. And so she gets married, and her sole purpose in this marriage for the first 3 years is to have a child. And so that's her purpose. The non production of a child leads to her frustration, and the coldness of her sex with the husband is going to lead to his frustration. And because they're not actively talking about this or making sure that they have more than one purpose involved, yes, the purpose, you want to have a child. But as a married person, do you want to also have that purpose of bonding? If you're not interested in the pleasure part, great. But do you want to bond with your husband at least? How do you take that step back? And so at the top of this talk, I talked about the person who did all the fertility treatments and nothing. And then, 10, 15 years later, boom, they jumped up and they ended up with a child because they just threw away the notion of, I'm going to have a child. So they threw that away. I'm never going to get pregnant. So whatever, let's just enjoy our sex life together. Let's just enjoy each other. So the stress of that end result was thrown out. And so they were able to produce that child because they were now in this sexual encounter on purpose to enjoy each other. With the thought, if a child is produced, oh well, if not, I'm okay with that too. And so bringing some of those stress levels down, which our bodies are amazing things. Oh my gosh, our bodies are so amazing that when we are able to just do some natural things and take care of it, it's able to give us what we're asking for. So without even sometimes speaking it aloud, what you're thinking about and a purpose, and you tell that to your body, you speak that to your body, you let that body know that that's what you want. It can give it to you if you're able to take care of it. And that starts with your mind. I always say sex starts with the mind and the body happily follows. So taking care of the mind so that the body can follow, that is having a purpose to allow the body to follow will lead you to that fulfilled sex life. When you shut that mind down, when you don't give it a purpose, when you're just opening your legs or sticking yourself in other people with no purpose whatsoever, you're truly going to just continue in the hamster wheel of unfulfilled sex. And if that's your angle, go for it. But the one thing that I know in working with clients who want to be in a fulfilled sex life, one that has purpose, I know that we always look to find that purpose so that we're going into these sexual encounters on purpose. And so, whatever purpose or goals we have, we're able to meet them in milestones. If you are in this unfulfilled sexual space, if you are a woman, if you are a couple in an unfulfilled sexual space, I encourage you to reach out, schedule some time, and let's talk about it. Let's get you to a fulfilled sexual space. That is something that can change the trajectory of your entire being. Truly. Think about the woman who is just always angry, or the man that's always stuck up at work. They need to have a fulfilled sex life. Now, sex is not everything, but it's something, and it's a good something. Let's be real when it's fulfilled. So, we are coming up on 25 after the hour. You know, I don't like to keep you guys here long. I would love to hear from you guys. Do you have a purpose when you go into your sexual encounters? Or is it kind of like, whatever, I'm just there? And if it is kind of, whatever, I'm just there, do you find yourself unfulfilled sexually because of it? If you're someone who goes into these encounters on purpose, can you share if you like to? And you can do it via my inbox, and I can share it anonymously, of course. When you go and you're having sex on purpose, do you feel more fulfilled than if you can think back on when you didn't? When you were young and you was young, dumb, and full of cum, and you was just going around sexing on anything with no purpose. Think back, how unfulfilled were you versus in present day, if you are that person that's on purpose and you're just a more fulfilled sex life, whether it be procreation, power, bonding, or yeah, I forgot the last one. But you guys know what I mean. Go back and catch the replay and you'll remember that fourth one, because I forgot what it was. But I would love to hear from you guys, honestly, and definitely take time, schedule some time for yourself with me. You can go to loveandintimacy101.com. That's loveandintimacy101.com to schedule time with me. You can always reach out to me directly, and I can send you the link to get you scheduled. I want you to remember that I have a lot of amazing, amazing online and in person events coming up for ladies and couples. The first one being the Talk to Me Nice, a couple's guide to oral play. That is a purposeful thing, and I cannot wait till that class comes up. That is September the 24th from 6 to 9 p.m. Dinner will be served for you guys. Huh? Get it? Dinner will be served. Huh? So you want to go ahead and get your tickets now. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can do this online if you're not here in my area, or you can do it in person if you are in the area. It's for couples to come together. I'm just full of them tonight to come together and learn more than just it's so beyond the physical act of oral play. Trust me, this class will blow your mind. I am just on a roll, y'all. Listen. So don't forget, Talk to Me Nice, a couple's guide to oral play, September the 24th. You can go to the link in my bio here on Instagram, and you'll be able to find that. Or you can go to eventbrite.com and you search Coach K 101, because that's me on every single platform, and you will find information about that. Ladies, don't forget, I have self-care Sundays. This Sunday is the next one, but it's twice a month, and it is all things self-care. I have some amazing local ladies that are coming into the building to show you and practice with you different activities that are all about self-care. And I'm so excited to have we're taking care of our vulvas and vaginas this Sunday. I have a specialist that is coming in. So you want to get your space for that. And everything is here at the space at Norchest. But I'm really excited about the Lioness Den that's coming, ladies. The Lioness Den is going to be amazing. It is all about us. It is going to be empowering. It is going to be it's going to be amazing. Trust me. The Lioness Den, that membership is going to be opening up in this winter. So you want to get early access, because I will limit it. There is an application because everyone can't get in. There goes another one. So don't forget about that. Ladies, we also have the Own Your Issues Ladies Retreat. That is October 27th through the 30th. It is 4 days of my online boot camp in person where we're going to grow with each other and for each other. And then the last thing, registration for the third annual Fools and Love Couples Retreat is open. Woo, woo, woo. So, couples, get your spot. We only take 5 couples every year. And oh my gosh, I got some new things for y'all this year. Everyone who's been there for the last 3 years, the last 2 years, you guys know how much fun we have. Yeah, it's going to be even more this year. And that all takes place in Williamsburg, Virginia. Beautiful, beautiful resort. So if you need me, all platforms, search Coach K, COACHKAY 101. You can message me on the platform that you're listening from, but I do want to hear from you. Don't forget that I am here every single Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And next week, I am going to be talking about sex after birth. Yes, I am a certified birth and postpartum doula and breastfeeding counselor, amongst other things. And we're going to be talking about getting back into your sex life after birth. So don't forget, set your calendars for every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Instagram, YouTube, and Clubhouse. And I will see you guys next week. Have a great, great evening. Bye, everybody.